Welcome everyone to this training session on Global Englishes in Practice. Today we will explore how English is used globally, why this matters in our mentoring roles, and how we can apply inclusive communication strategies. So, let's begin by looking at our learning objectives. Our objectives today are threefold. First, to define the concept of global Englishes and contrast it with traditional models of English. Second, to examine the implications of linguistic diversity of peer mentoring and academic support. And third, to identify practical strategies for effective and inclusive communication in multilingual contexts. With these goals in mind, let's move on to understand what global English really means. English is developed into multiple varieties worldwide, influenced by local cultures and communication needs. The term global English refers to this diversity of English use across global contexts. So, rather than focusing only on so-called standard English, we acknowledge that English adapts to meet the needs of its speakers worldwide. So, to understand this better, let's look at how English has evolved as a global language. English is no longer the property of native-speaking countries. In fact, non-native speakers now far outnumber native speakers. So this shift means our focus is less on native-like accuracy and more on mutual intelligibility, being understood across different varieties. So English has become an international lingua franca, enabling communication between speakers of different first languages. That's why is this important for us as peer mentors? Let's explore its significance. Over 80% of English communication today happens among non-native speakers. This reality emphasizes the need to embrace linguistic and cultural diversity in English use. By doing so, we prepare ourselves and our mentees for real-world communication across global contexts. To support this, let's consider some key concepts that underpin global Englishes. There are three main concepts. First, English as a lingua franca, used as a common language among speakers of different native languages. Second, intercultural communication, where we emphasize understanding and negotiating cultural differences. And third, language ownership. English belongs to all its users, not just native speakers, which means linguistic diversity should be valued. Now, let's make this more practical by looking at activities we can apply in peer mentoring. Well, to bring global Englishes into practice, we can use activities such as variety awareness, clarification practice, language simplification exercises, and post-session reflection. Each of these helps mentors and learners engage more effectively in multilingual contexts. First, let's focus on variety awareness. In this activity, we listen to different varieties of English, such as Indian, Nigerian, or Singaporean English. We reflect on features like writing, pronunciation, and vocabulary. The key is to analyze intelligibility, which means to measure how understandable it is, rather than judging based on so-called accuracy. This encourages openness to different Englishes. Next, let's see how clarification strategies can help in mentoring. During mentoring sessions, it's helpful to use paraphrasing to confirm understanding. If meaning is unclear, we can politely ask for rephrasing. The goal is always to prioritize the accurate exchange of ideas over grammatical correction. This builds confidence and clearer communication. Alongside this, simplifying language can also be powerful. Now let's examine the language simplification exercise. This activity encourages us to replace culturally specific idioms or slang with more neutral alternatives. It also trains us to explain complex concepts using clear and accessible language. This makes communication easier for mentees from diverse backgrounds. After using these techniques, reflecting on our performance can further enhance our mentoring. After each session, managers can self-assess their communication effectiveness. This involves noting which strategies work well and identifying areas for improvement. Over time, reflection strengthens our ability to foster mutual understanding in diverse contexts. Let's now look at broader strategies to peer managers. As mentors, we can model open-mindedness and inclusivity toward different English varieties. We can also facilitate group discussions and activities that raise awareness of global Englishes. Finally, we can encourage peers to reflect on their own English use and to appreciate the diversity of global varieties. When we do this, learners benefit in powerful ways. So, what are the benefits of global Englishes for learners? Recognizing global Englishes enhances learners' motivation by validating their own varieties of English. It also develops a global mindset and intercultural sensitivity. Moreover, it improves adaptability and communication effectiveness in diverse contexts. These benefits prepare learners for real-world success. To conclude, let's summarize the key takeaways. So to wrap up with this topic, global English reflects the real diverse use of English worldwide. Moreover, embracing global English helps learners communicate effectively and respectfully across cultures. Peer measures can also play a vital role in promoting awareness and inclusivity. And what is more, ongoing learning and adaptation ensure success in teaching and using global Englishes. Thank you for your time and engagement. I encourage you to continue reflecting on how global English shape your communication and mentoring practices. Together, we can foster more inclusive and effective peer learning environments. Thank you for watching this video and see you again. Bye bye.